Welcome to In the Kitchen with Dominique. This is Dominique Clayton, and on today's show, I'm showing you one of my favorite side dishes, which is acorn squash with warm fall spices on it. And we're going to show you how easy it is to roast that up on one sheet with some red bell pepper to make it look really festive for any of your turkey, your chicken dishes, your pork dishes, your steak dishes, whatever it is that you're cooking this fall. You're going to need to have this on the side. And then we're going to show you my spaghetti squash that I normally use with pesto sauce. But today we're going to switch it up a little bit and do this garlic and olive oil and herbaceous sauce to put that on top of it. It's so easy. It's so much fun. It's going to be the best replacement for your normal rice and potato dishes. And now I'm going to show you how easy it is to make from start to finish. So in this pan, I have some red bell peppers that I rough chopped that have some, a little bit of olive oil, seasoned salt, and pepper on it. Then next to that, we're going to cut this amazing, beautiful acorn squash that I think is just so darn yummy. It has kind of a chicken taste to it, which is why I love it. The more you roast it, the more meaty it tastes. So these are kind of hard to cut. So what I recommend doing is kind of snipping off the ends. And you're going to make sure that your knife is sharp, guys. So we're going to cut that end off. Put that in there. And then find you a nice steady groove. So right now I feel like this. Find a place that's going to give me some good stability on your cutting board. Because if I go into this and cut it and it's not steady, I'm probably going to whack my finger off. So before I do that, I'm going to cut this part off on the top. And you want to make sure you cut the top part off so then when you're cutting along the grooves, your knife doesn't get stuck in that and it gives you an even slice all the way through. So back to your steady groove right here. I think I found mine right. Let's see. That feels better. So we're just going to put our knife right there and run it just like this. Again, these are really hard to cut. So you want to make sure your knife is sharpened really well. Okay. And then when you open this up, it's going to have all this stuff on the inside. We're going to spoon that out on top of our garbage bowl. Thank God that Rachel Ray's cooking lessons via the couch has provided a way so that we don't have to take multiple trips to the garbage can. I do not like touching my garbage when I cook. I think it's gross. So if I could just eliminate that step altogether multiple times and just have a bowl where I just put all my pills and things in, I mean, that just sounds like way more efficient cooking. Like I always say, I'm a mom of 3, so I'm always trying to think of ways to get dinner on the table faster. I'm one of those annoying people that try to get dinner done before 6:30. That way, you know, you have more time with your kids, you have more time for bath time and stuff like that. And I think the garbage bowl helps that. All right. So we got all the meat out of there and all the guts. So we're going to put this open side down on our cutting board and cut along the grooves of the acorn squash. Be careful, guys. This could be very hard to cut. No accidents happening during the fall. Okay. And sometimes people are a little bit turned off because when you cut it, like you're going to still have some stringy stuff happening. But once you roast it, it literally disappears in the oven. So it's not going to look as funky when you take it out. And it's so fascinating to me how different these smell from when you chop to when you roast them in the oven. Oh my God, it smells so good. It's so important to try to utilize and take advantage of all the high potassium foods that are provided for us during the fall. You know, all those yams and squashes and butternut squash and acorn squash, all of that is loaded in veggies. So you don't have to feel like you're missing out on your rices and potatoes, because if you just substitute squashes during the fall, I mean, come on now, it's a perfect addition, and it's a good replacement for the usual things that we normally pile on our plates. That's why I love Thanksgiving. I love Christmas because it's a fun time for us to really take advantage of stuff that is not really available for us during like the summer and things. It's just better. So I have some olive oil that I drizzled over the acorn squash, drizzling some garlic powder. So normally I don't do this. I normally keep it simple with the palette of just like seasoned salt, garlic, and pepper. But because it's fall, we're going to add some warm spices to this. A little bit of cinnamon, a dash of nutmeg, and did I add seasoned salt? No, I did not. I did not add that yet. Ground ginger is optional for this if you want to have a kick, but I'm thinking we're going to not do that this time. And some pepper. We have olive oil. So first, before I rub my fingers in the acorn squash, I'm going to rub the olive oil and the seasoned salt and pepper into the bell peppers. And then I can use both hands to rub on these. Make sure it gets thoroughly coated. And this is going to go in the oven for 35 minutes. But if you want, you know, you can really overcook these and they're not bad. The longer you cook your squashes, the more soft they get. And I think kids like that consistency better. I know Diara and Aiden, they appreciate when it's a little bit more like mushy. So it's up to you. So now to make this look like a nice little platter, I'm going to first separate the acorn squash like so. And then between each one, I'm going to put a bell pepper. Just to kind of give it that every other color. Get some rainbow action going in. I'm going to rinse my hands off really quick. We're going to put this in the oven for 35 minutes. And then I'm going to show you how quick and easy the spaghetti squash is going to be. All right. So the oven has been on it's preheated already at 400 degrees. And we're going to put this in the oven for 35 minutes. Okay. Let me grab my pan and show you how easy the spaghetti squash is to put together. I'm going to challenge myself right now and try to get this done in real time. You know. So I have my pan on medium. Olive oil. Remember that whenever you are, if you're into, measuring and all that stuff, you normally need like only 2 tablespoons of olive oil, for like sauteing your veggies and stuff like that. If you're extra tedious and particular about your measurements, each circle of your pan of olive oil, like each time you go like that, that equals about 1 tablespoon of olive oil. And I don't know if you noticed so far, but I'm not into measuring. So for this one, because we're doing more of a sauce for it, we're going to add a little bit more olive oil in a minute. So we just want to get some flavor. And so what I'm thinking is, how am I going to make this herbaceous, like while this is cooking and doing its thing? First, seasoned salt in the olive oil. Then I am thinking, do I want to add some dried herbs or do I want to add some fresh herbs? I'm thinking fresh herbs. So I'm going to go grab some rosemary and some thyme from the refrigerator really quick. Okay, where is my thyme? And just a little bit of rosemary. And instead of chopping it, I'm just going to add just a couple, maybe 4 sprigs of thyme and it's like a small little tree of rosemary. Spaghetti squash really takes on flavor fast, guys. So you don't need to add too much stuff to it. You could do like a pesto and that's fine. But it's really up to you to kind of play up the palate and to see what works best for you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go grab the spaghetti squash and show you. Also turn my pan off while I'm explaining to you how to roast that and to clean it out and things. Okay, so as you can see here, I have my spaghetti squash and I like overly roasted this. Like it overcooked in the oven on purpose. And what I did was, these are really yellow first. So first what you want to do is you want to cut this vertically first. And then you want to, like the same thing with the acorn squash, you want to kind of take all the guts out of that. Olive oil on both sides and then seasoned salt, pepper right here. And the longer you roast this in the oven, the easier it's going to be for us to really fork out those strings of spaghetti. Now we could pretend it's spaghetti for the kids, but we really know what it is. It's spaghetti squash. Okay, guys, so what I have in the pan is some olive oil, garlic, shallots, some thyme, rosemary. And then after that cooked out a little bit, I added a little bit more olive oil, 2 tablespoons of butter, some seasoned salt, pepper, and some garlic powder. And just gonna wait until this kind of melts all the way. So that's good. And then the fun part is taking all this yumminess. You even want like those brown bits. Brown bits equals flavor. See? Look at it. And we're just going to fork this down like so into that yummy olive oil, butter, and garlic amazingness. And the longer you roast this, the better. It's like literally just like falling out. Like how easy was that? This is such a good alternative. Like if you are trying to avoid carbs, if you're trying to really eat better as far as not having so much heaviness on your plate, make this, and it is a winner. Okay. Yes, honey. Mommy is cooking. Say hi, guys. Want to say hi to people? No, you don't want to come in? You being shy? You being shy? He's being shy. Okay. The kids are playing. I love that. You know, being a mom is really busy, and I'm always in that mindset of trying to be 10 steps ahead with everything. You know, being really busy mom of 3, so it's kind of why I'm so inspired to make dishes like this, because I know that life could be crazy, it could be stressful, but if you just, you know, think of ways to really maximize your time in the kitchen so you can be with your little ones. You know, it doesn't have to always be like so stressful and hectic, you know, but one of my favorite things to do is what I do on this show is cooking all the time while listening to my kids play, and just kind of being there for them. But, you know, like I said before, my mom, she had a really busy life, you know, when we were little, and my dad, he worked like 3 jobs. My mom was a paralegal, and she had always a warm dinner for us waiting in the kitchen. So I feel like what else screams home than when your kids smell something really nice in the kitchen. Just take the time and cook something up. All right, so this is turning out perfect. So I just kind of tossed this really quick in that sauce. What I'm going to do is just sprinkle a little bit more olive oil on the top. And then with my tongs, I want to make sure that, you know, each fiber and strain is separated, because sometimes it could get kind of like mushy and kind of mashy, but if you just kind of like fork through it with your tongs, then it'll work. So normally I fish out the thyme, but I kind of like the way it looks on the dish. I feel like it kind of makes it look rustic and fall-y, so we're going to leave that in there. We're not going to fish it out. I think it kind of looks cool. All right, so this is tossed nicely. If you want to add some heat to this, go ahead, add some crushed pepper flakes. I think that's a good way if it's like, you know, for adults, obviously. If it's for a crowd, I wouldn't recommend it, you know, because some people are sensitive to heat, some aren't. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a couple of leaves of basil and just tear it over this, and we're just going to try it, and it's ready already. We're going to turn the oven off, or the stove off. All right, so I'm just doing a last toss of the spaghetti squash, and then we're going to plate this up with some basil and try it out. Let's grab my plate, and then you could kind of do like a cute little mound in the middle, like so. All right, I'm gonna add some fresh basil on top. We're gonna give this a chiffonade, which is basically rolling it and slivering it up. Okay. Look how easy this is. All right, so this is the fun part. This is when we taste it. It's going to be awesome. Oh my God, I smell it and it smells amazing. So just a little bit and some basil. It's really garlicky, buttery, and it has that perfect bite to it that we want. Amazing. You guys need to make this. So in a minute, we're going to take out our acorn squash and our peppers. We're going to try that and to show you how easy this could be. Screams fall. I love it. All right, guys, so it's been about 25 minutes and we're going to take the acorn squash and the peppers out, show how fun and sexy it's going to be to plate these up for whatever fall dish that you're making. Ooh, nice. That's exactly what we want. We want that brown situation happening. So what I like to do is kind of pile these just on any kind of way. Like this. Let me get some peppers. This is the perfect side dish for fall. And the reason I like acorn squash, or another reason why, is I love the outside of it. I mean, we have that green to orange, like gradient situation happening. And I think that that encompasses all that fall is as far as flavor and color and just everything that you want. Okay. Oh my God, so good. Okay. All right, and now we are going to add some fresh parsley. You want to break open the leaves and drop them whole instead of chopping them. I think that makes for a better presentation than just chopping them, you know. Doesn't it scream fall, guys? I mean, look at these colors. This is fall. This is all fall. All right, guys, so this completes our squash show, guys. I'm so excited, and I hope that you are inspired again to make something yummy and hearty to go alongside the perfect fall dish. Look at how amazing this turned out, guys. Look at that, all those fall colors. And it's just yummy. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, In the Kitchen with Dominique. Don't forget to email me any questions you have. You could comment on the shows, whatever it is, just reach out to me. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Facebook at In the Kitchen with Dominique. Hope you guys enjoy. Have a blessed day. Bye.